Hello, good evening. Great when technology doesn't want to work for you. So, good evening, Zena. Good evening, Sean. Hi, Michelle. Tonight I thought we'd have a bit of a play. I have dug out some paper. I need to see if it will hold some paint, but we'll find that out shortly. And I've dug out a canvas because I just thought we'd have a bit of fun and a bit of a play. And I'm hoping, yes, she is. I was going to say, I'm hoping Stella's still on my desk, which she is. So that's who we're going to be using tonight. I'm going to use lovely Stella. I've got, like I say, a canvas, some paper, and we're just going to have a bit of a play with. We'll see what happens. See where it goes tonight. So that's my plan. Yeah, I've got a few bits and bobs, and we'll just go with it. We even dug out some handmade papers as well, so, and some pattern paper. So we'll see. We'll see where we end up tonight. So that's my plan. Should we get started? Let me just move that out of the way. I've just realised I've got a couple of things on my desk that you really shouldn't be seeing. So just right. We're all right. I did move most of it. It's that last minute panic. It's like, oh, I didn't check my desk. Right. So I've got actually quite a big canvas. Should have probably gone for a slightly smaller one. Hi, Lynn. So this is the canvas we've got. I love these canvas boards. They're so easy to work on. It's just like working on thick paper. And this is the piece of paper I wanted. Well, I didn't want. I wanted some, like a page out of a book or something, but I couldn't find one. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use this one instead. So let me move my ones that I was working on the other day with. Hi, Suzanne. Whoops, daisy, there we go. And I'm going to bring the lovely little Stella back. So do like Stella. She's a good egg, is our Stella. And I know a lot of you have been asking about her. So she's either on the website or she's my next one to put on the website. I can't quite remember. But she's nearly there. She's either on or she's my next one. I can't remember. Right. So we're going to stamp our Stella. And I want it to be, I want some quite interesting bits and pieces behind her. Because I can't decide, do I paint Stella or I think I'm going to paint around her. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So basically I just want some really quite interesting bits of the map. Could actually be quite cool, wouldn't it? You could position it really. There you go, something like that is what we're going to do. So let me find some. Oh, thanks, Lynn. I'm getting there slowly with all the past multi-makes on there and Facebook Lives and things. It was a slightly bigger job than I thought, but we're getting there. We're getting there. We are getting there. And it'll be wonderful. And there is actually a page on the website as well where you can go and find all the samples and things from each of the monthly makes. I'll get my teeth back in at some point. Evening, Helen. So you'll have a nice big library of ideas for your monthly makes. So I'm going to pop it somewhere around Europe, Africa. Might get a bit of India in there as well. So something like, oh, just go for it like that. Hi, Mum. Splat it on and see what happens next, shall we? Get a real good press. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to take paint. It's always going to be interesting, isn't it? Just make sure I give it a good press. It's sticking, so that's a good sign. There we go. And I'm just going to give it a quick blast of the heat gun. So at the moment it looks a bit busy, doesn't it? But it won't. It won't when we finish because we'll drown a lot of it out. Taken the paint, the ink a lot better than I thought it would. So That's a bonus as well, isn't it? I think that's sometimes the fun, isn't it, when you're working with pattern papers, because you never quite know how they're going to react when you work with them. And I have used VersaFine Clay, so it's just going to take a little bit longer to dry. And we might be there. Oh no, we're not. Hang on a second. Could have embossed it, I suppose, but I don't want the shine to be. The glossy accents are on the floor now. Right. I think it's dry. I think. Right, so first up I'm going to grab my brush out. Just stuck it to the table. And I want some really, really bright colours. So I'm going to go for a bit of Sunburst Lemon, because that's that really, really intense, like neon colour. We'll have Alzarian Crimson, because it's Alzarian Crimson and it's just an amazing colour. Evening Maxine. Then I think we will also have, I love violet, you know, because that'll kind of do the blue. Or should we go ultramarine or that violet? I think, yeah. And then I want a really nice deep green, so I'm thinking emerald, because lime's a bit yellow. Yeah, we'll do emerald. Oops. I must have heated up some glue or something on my desk. Right. So I'm going to start off with my palest one first, because we can always add a colour, but I can't take it away. Well, I say that, and you can with brush, can't you? Because you just water it down. But I want it to be quite intense colour. So I'm going to start off with my yellow. There we go. So I'm just popping a little bit of my brush on my table. I'm going to grab there it is. My favourite paintbrush, though its end's getting a bit chuffed up, so I think I need a new one. It's my favourite. I don't want to get rid of it though. Right, I'm just going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to want my colour really dark, so I'm going to be working with quite a concentrate. So normally I'd grab a tiny little bit and pull it out. Don't want that this time. I want really quite concentrated, because I want it. I'm saying a lot of I wants tonight, aren't I? I've got a bad case of the I wants. Oops, and I've already gone into my flower. I didn't mean to do that. I could mask it all off, but I think this way should work just as well. Hi Pauline. I'm going to turn it around. I need another splodge. I could wet it beforehand. Wet my paper even. I'll finish the whole sentence there. But what I'm going to do is add really intense colour and then just kind of splodge it out a bit. Use up what's on my brush, just like that. Just being careful not to go inside my leaves. Yep. Well, inside my flower, ideally. And then we'll do another bit of splodging. And this is yellow, remember, so we can always go over this one. I just want it to look like I've dropped splodges of paint everywhere. Add a little bit more intense around me, the actual flower. Oops. Overstretching it. Hi Noella. Just pick up some of this watery stuff. Splot it on. Right, I'm going to go, should we go green next, because yellow, green. And I know normally I would be cleaning up my desk between putting my brush colours out, but I'm not this time, because potentially I'm either going to end up splatting with it, or I'm going to want a little bit of colour to fill in spaces and things like that in a little bit. So I'm just, ooh, my brush is really watery. So I'm just concentrating whilst I go around these bits. I'm going to turn it around, make it easy for myself. I know it looks like it's on a turntable, doesn't it? But I'm going to pick up a little bit of water, then start to just, as if I've dropped it onto that bit. Look a bit, mixing in with our yellow. It wouldn't be nice clean cut lines around our flowers, would it? If you had the patience, you'd probably use some masking fluid or something like that. I didn't want to use like post-it notes or anything. I could have probably used mastic, you know, the sticky back like masking tape, if I'd have thought about it. But she's quite an intricate one, isn't she, to get a bit in here. Starting to look a bit like you know, you've got the desert, you've got the hills. Maybe it's right, it's on top of a map. I did have some lovely music paper I was going to pop it on, but you can never find it when you want it, can you? So as I come away from the image, I'm really watering down the brush out so I can add in. Yep, so hopefully it's starting to look a bit like I've kind of just dropped bits and pieces on my paper. Now I'm going to go for pink next, I think. I'll have a multicoloured desk by the end of this tonight. As long as I don't put my arm in it. I can't be the only one that does that. And then you end up with like a brush out down your arm. Done that many a time. So again, I'm going to go in with quite concentrated colour. Where do I fancy this? I quite fancy it near the top here, actually. And as I start to get to the other colour, I'm just going to start mixing it in, just like that. Looks like she's got a Mohican at the moment, doesn't she? Whoops. See if we can fix that in a minute. I love it when a plan starts to look a bit wonky. It's a Doc's dinner phase, isn't it, as we call it. I'm sure we'll get it back somehow. See, now I've got this big gap around this flower, so I really need to extend that green. So luckily it's still on my desk. I don't have to pop any more out. Not that I'm using much brush out. You never use much brush out, really. Where was I going? I was going here with this one. Just kind of splodging my brush. I'm not really painting. It's nothing. I wouldn't even call it painting. Oh, I'm getting a bit wet there now. Let's grab my blue, see if I can. It's not blue, it's violet. But before I do that, I'm going to extend this green a little bit because it's not looking quite right here, and that's going to be a big patch of blue there if we go for that. And I want to extend my green again here, and probably my yellow down a bit more. So I'm just going to wash this pink out of my brush. I did find my water pot the other day. I don't know what I've done with it again. So I want to kind of extend this bit here. Should have gone with my yellow first, that would have made more sense, wouldn't it? Actually, I'll start with this bit here, because it's right in front of me. It means I don't have to dance around with it quite as much. I'll still put a bit of blue up here, but not quite. There we go. Yeah, that red's a bit powerful. That pink's a bit overpowering at the moment, isn't it? Never mind. Let's see what we can do. So it's that yellow I want to pick up again. And just kind of splatter this bit out a bit more. And make sure this bit grows a bit. And then we can tone it back. It is indeed. It's a lovely Stella. She was June's monthly make. May. June was cactuses. There we go. That was testing my memory, wasn't it? Yeah. So she's the next one for me to load up, I think. And a lovely Stella because she looks a bit like the sun. That didn't make any sense, did it? But I know what I mean. There we go. I'm just going to add a little bit of green. Going a bit yellow and yellowish now, aren't we? I'm going to come in and we're going to end up with a bit of blue here. I'm going to pop a little bit of green. Because that green and yellow is working really well together. And I have actually gone really bright colours, which I think is working as well. Do a few more splatters. Pull this one up a bit. Then where's our lovely violet? Yeah, I think it is starting to work well. I didn't think it was going to. I thought it might have been a bit too much, but I think it is actually working. We'll have to see because we've got to get through a canvas yet. So there's always time for me to turn it into a big dog's dinner, isn't it? And to be fair, it's not a coated paper. It's a really old one. It's got Buzzcraft on it. That tells you how old it is. So it's actually quite porous. It feels shiny, but it's not. It's really quite porous. Oh, it looks like I was colouring in Africa then. Could be a geography project, this, couldn't it? Can you find a little bit more? Nope, too watery. Part of me wishes I'd now done it in like browns and you know, more antique colours. See, I missed a massive patch there. It's going to be one of those things that you keep coming back to and going, oh, how did I miss that? Oh, I've missed a big bit round already. A little bit of watering bits. Now, it was that bit of, see here, right in the middle. Got a right blank bit there. So I'm going to put a bit of yellow in, and then I think I might end up putting a little bit of, oh no, yellow will do it, because there's already green around it. Could spend ages, couldn't you, now going back in and just adding bits and pieces to it. Right. Quite happy with that. Right, so I need, I want to do a bit of splattering, because you know me, I do love me little bits of splattering. So I'm going to take my leftover brush out, and I'm just trying to cover up my image a little bit. So like I've got a big chunk of yellow here. Oops. I was trying to do gentle splattering, but it didn't work, did it? Put that up there. So I'm just trying to cover my image. There we go. That's me yellow. Got a bit of green down here, so let's follow this round. Oops. Need some more water. Just keep covering it up so we don't, I know I'm splattering, but I don't want to get splatters in me flowers. I'm just being picky really, aren't I? I'm going to do a little bit of that violet. I think it's adding to it. Don't know if you can quite see those little splatters, but I think it's working. Not dainty splats because I'm trying to concentrate where they're going. Nearly got a leaf then, a petal, flower head. That's the one. Would be a petal, wouldn't it? Just like that. Just had a horrible thought I'd be picking up on the back of my paintbrush, but I'm not. I just do a little bit more yellow down here. Oh, yellow with a hint of blue. Yellow with a hint of violet even. Let me just wipe my brush off. So I've got a right chunk of like virtually raw violet in there. I'm actually quite liking the colours on that. I had a moment where I thought it might be getting a bit too bright. There we go. And then we've got some pink up here. And we'll just pop a little bit at the top. Maybe a little bit down here. I'm getting carried away now with my splats. Right, stop girl. I think you've done enough splattering. So, we've got a rather multicoloured Stella going on here. And a rather multicoloured desk to match. That was really fun to do that. Right, we're going to dry her up. Well, we're going to clean my desk first. Should have picked that up, shouldn't I? I'm in index card book. I made a really nice background. Give this a quick dry. I'm not going to get rid of these brush over just yet because I think, well, I don't know whether we'll use them again or not, but I just want all these little splatters dry because we're going to tear this up to go onto our canvas. See, this side's really shiny. The side we're working on isn't quite as much. Oh, excuse me, I'm going to stick. Oh. That feels dry. I'm liking it. I'm just not quite getting enough of Stella popping. So, charcoal pen time. Just make sure I've got a nice bit on there. And we just. This way you need to make sure it's dry if you want to put your charcoal pen on. Well, you don't, because you could find it with your charcoal pen. Obviously, it reacts with water, doesn't it? So you get a different effect. I think I used Stella the other day as well, didn't I? Must have done if she was on my desk. I didn't think about that. Sorry, you'll get sick of seeing Stella, won't you? Oh, this pen doesn't want to really twist the sides of it. Just get this little bit of depth going on here. There we go. Must have flattened it enough so it wants to. So I hold that one up. Hi, Chris. Hold that one up there. You can see just that. This one here where I've added the charcoal pens. Yeah, that word. Charcoal. I'll get there. Charcoal pencil on that one. And these ones, it's when I think about saying a word, I get stuck. You can just see that difference it makes. I think it really, well, I think it makes a difference. And again, if you haven't got a charcoal pencil, don't worry, just get your little HBs out and they'll work. They won't be quite soft to work with. But they'll still work. On this one. Oops. I'm going to really press on. Oh, thanks, Chris. So Stella. To be fair, Stella does all the work. It's not me. I can't take credit. But I could have used any backing paper for this, I'm sure. Effectively all we've done is we've turned it into like a fuzz in the background, haven't we, that backing paper. You'd have to look really closely when we start trimming it down. You're gonna have to look really closely to realise it's a map. I nearly said it's a sat nav then. Tells you where my brain's at. Add a little bit more in here. We could go one step further and grab out the glossy accents. So we will see. We might do. We might not. All depends how we feel about it shortly. Going in really heavy-handed here, which is fine. I think it needs it. Some of these colours are a bit bright. It does, the fuzz, our background fuzz does give it a lovely, another layer. We could have spent ages building it up with texture stamps and things like that. There we go, right. So I'm thinking that is looking alright. I'm going to grab my canvas. Oh, it did work. I was going to say that didn't work, did it? Should put the scissors down while I do things like this. Right, and then I'm going to be brave. I'm going to tear it. So, got quite a bit to play with actually. So, and if it goes terribly wrong at this point, I have got a little bit of wiggle room. Oops. We can cut it again and go around with the. Actually, I'm not going to throw those bits away. We might want them. Remember, when you're cutting something like this, so this has got, it's patterned on top and it's got a white core. Some of your papers as well, you know, like your backing papers and things like that, they'll have a white core. So if you're going to do your tearing with them, just make sure you tear it towards you so you get that lovely white core showing. Because otherwise, if I teared the other way, no, let's do it. Tear towards you, so I want to tear away from me, don't I? Yeah. It's not as pretty. Yeah, that's a bit boring, isn't it? Not having your white edge, where your white edge looks quite, adds to it. Another, like Noella said, it's another layer again. And who'd have thought I've got lines I could follow down here. And that one's really torn, isn't it? Oh, we've got a piece there. We mustn't have liked America tonight because we've got none of South America in there. Wasn't intentional. I have to do another piece. Okay, let's just tear. Oops. Really going for it on that one. Right, so I think it's a little bit big, so I'm going to take a little bit more off this side. I'm getting closer and closer to my image though, so you'll notice my tearing, I'm trying to get a little bit more. There you go, that works, doesn't it? Put my bits over there for a minute. We'll see. Right, so that's going to be our central piece. And I was thinking what I want to do next. See, I thought about this bit. Got my pattern, me handmade papers to go on it as well. So, I don't know whether I want to do that. So I'm changing my mind. There's a surprise for you, isn't it? Always change my mind at the last minute. I actually quite like seeing all this. I was planning to put stuff over the top. However, I think I'm going to work on the canvas behind. So, just looking at which stamps I've got on my desk. And I have got Hex Doodles. I love this stamp. So that'll look quite cool in the background. And I wonder if I can find quickly my... Nope, I don't got a clue where they are. Say find my stencils, but that's fine. I'll use something else. What else is on here? I love having a bit of a desk dive. Ooh, just found that saying as well. That might work. Right. You can hear the cogs turning, can't you? So we've got Live in the Moment. I think that'll look really pretty just down there in that corner. I'm tempted. Right, let's do that. Let's look at this. It'll come back. I will colours. And I've got a decision to make. I can either go with lovely pinks. So let me just grab some papers. Not sure about that at all. I think Mum will recognise these. They're a box I snaffled off her. There we go, that's more like it. Those earthy tones we want. See, now it's starting to look a bit better. Got another piece there. Right, pink didn't work. I was being brave, I tried the pink. I stepped back away from it. Right, that. I need to do something with the base of this because I don't like the white on the white, but it'll work. And so, decisions. I think I'm actually going to go browns because I think that will make that front bit pop up, won't it? Right, so I've got some browns on my desk, I think. If not, I've got lovely tea dye, that'll do. And I want something like old paper or antique linen. They were ones I was playing with something. See, you do remember, Mum. I think you asked about them a while ago, didn't you? I've still got quite a lot of them. And they're still in the original box as well, which is a miracle. Should we get, I want a bit of a darker one in there as well, so should we get the Twix? That'll be quite a nice dark one. Or I think I saw walnut stain on my desk. Right, we're back. We should have a plan. Not the greatest of plans, but we've got a plan and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to grab a brush because me canvas board is that canvas texture. Don't know whether you can quite. Oh, look at that! I've got it. Wow, I didn't think I'd get that. See, it's the same as a big fat canvas. You get that lovely texture on there, and that is what I want to. Come on. No, I was a bit mean putting it up that high, wasn't I? That is what I want to work with. Let's get VersaFine in there. It only picks that one back up. There we go. So what I want to do is I want to just grab my brush. So that's why I'm using the brush. I want that lighter touch when I'm adding my inks. So I'm going to use this one, but it is very. You can tell it's got loads of yellow stuck in there. Which would work actually. I just want to knock it back a little bit before I start adding it on to my. I didn't want it bright yellow because I think that was probably something like mustard seed. Right. See, straight away you get a beautiful, oh, that lovely texture. Get some colour on it. I don't even know I've done this like really fat line down here. Right, so tells how well I wash my brushes out. I don't think I need the antique linen now actually, after all that effort going to find it. I don't think I quite need it, so I'm just going to pick up some of my tea dye. And remember as well, when you're adding your oxides to the canvas, they are going to take a bit to dry because it's non-porous, it just sits on the top, so you just need to give them a bit of time to dry. Need to get a bit more colour on that one, don't I? can always go back over and add a bit more in a minute. Don't know why I'm even doing the whole thing, because you're not going to see all of it, are you? It's starting to look like a dirty book now. That's kind of the look I'm going for. It has to go that way. So I don't think it really matters actually at this stage if we've chosen. Okay, so I've done my two corners quite dark, because we're going to put some more interest in these. Then this bit here, we're just going to, if I can find my handwriting stamp, we'll use that one. Probably want a bit more of a bit of gathered twigs in there as well. Then these, see, it's starting, isn't it? It's starting to come together-ish. Yeah. So we'll go like that. You can see it's starting to build up a little bit now. I need to rough up these edges a bit more as well. I'm talking out loud, aren't I? Right. Stamping block would be a good idea at this point. And a handwriting stamp would also be quite a nice little one to grab. So should be in this big bucket. Ooh, I found cracks though. If we can't find handwriting, cracks will do. Maybe, maybe not. Ooh. You can tell when I start to find things, can't you? Open weaved work as well, isn't it? Right. Where was that cracked? There it was. So I'm going to put cracks in the background. I think handwriting would work just as well. Oh, I found coffee stain now. Ooh. No, we're going to go with cracked. So I want that as my base layer. I'm just going to grab that one onto there first. It's just really to break it up a little bit. Yeah, I know my colour has. But I just wanted to break that up a little bit more as well. Sticking it on my desk. I don't know about you guys, I keep thinking it's Friday. I know it's not. Ooh. Do you see why that didn't stamp? I pressed it like that. So all it does is pop middle up. Ooh. Now I've just double stamped it. Oops. I've done it again. Stop doing it, girl. I'm going for that double layered effect now. To be fair, you're not going to see much of this when it's there. Yeah, because normally we do Friday, don't we? It's Wednesday this week. Hopefully it'll be Monday and Wednesday going forward, I think. Though, at the moment, who knows? It used to be late on a Friday because of football, but got a few weeks without that at the moment. Right, so we've got our cracked in the background. wonder if... Right, I'm going to just try something and see if it will work. And it kind of does. So what I want is I like, don't get me wrong, I like the stamp, but I want it to not be as harsh in my background. So just very gently diffusing the lines. There we go, that's a good word, isn't it? Diffuse those lines. Because it's wet and I'm on a non-porous surface, it's just letting me move back ever so gently. Otherwise, if I was working on something porous, I'd probably been tempted to go and grab a bit of a charcoal pen or something like that, pencil even. There we go. If I leave it like that, it just looks a little bit softer. Really gently, it's like I'm almost tickling it. Really gentle. Aww. really gentle. Tickle. Especially down here where I've got loads where I decided to stamp it in the wrong place. There we go. Right, I'm going to blast it now. See, a lot more softer, a lot more in the background. Heat gun. That's what I needed, a heat gun. Just be careful with your canvas boards as well, because they do honk a little bit when you start to heat them up. So just make sure you keep moving on the board. You can see how wet that ink is. It's just sitting there pooling on the top. Well, it's not, it's in the crevices it's pooling, but this is one of those jobs. We're going for maps tonight, aren't we, Chris? It does look a bit like an ordnance survey map. It's all about the maps tonight. I don't know whether you can quite see, but I can tell it's not drying because it's shiny. Once it stops being shiny, which is going to take a bit to be fair, so I just want it dry enough that every time I touch it I don't bring half the ink with me. So normally something like this, I'd start to work on it, and this is the time I would go and do 3 other jobs that need doing. So you can see, there you go, just broken up a little bit in the background, hasn't it? Right, so don't know whether I want to use that one, but I definitely want to. Come on, Mr. Cracked. There we go. Use my little hexagons. So you can see I've got a big space here. So I'm just going to pop some of these in, and I'm going to grab some permanent ink for it. Again though, it will take a little bit to dry. Ooh, toffee or sepia? Ooh, tough choice, I think. And I can see them both. I think it's going to have to be sepia, isn't it? So toffee's that. Oh, no, we're going to go sepia. I'm just going to come and pop this on here. And you'll find working on a canvas you just need to press it a little bit harder because you want to get into all those little nooks and crannies. Lots and lots of little nooks and crannies. this one in here, and I think that's probably enough. Well, we would pop it in there if I was lining it up right. There we go, and we're just going to do a little bit in the bottom. Oops. I'm dropping everything today, aren't I? Line him up. Dink. Ooh, didn't do a very good job on that one. My little bees have gone a little bit wonky on this one. Oops, not inked it up there. Got to talk about wonky bees. There we go, that'll do. It's when you start to overthink it, isn't it? If I just splattered it on, it wouldn't be so much of an issue. So I'm going to turn it around that way, I think. I'm not going to pop this, but you can see we're starting to... Oh, Alexa's talking to me now, that's cool. It's starting to... That background, yep, starting to work, I think. So again, downside, I need to start with my heat gun. And then I'm going to add a bit more colour to these. So I want something like a rusty hinge. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll cheat. Oh, wild honey. Right, can I hold that there? And shout if I'm not on the right route. Sticking with what I'm looking for. Nope, that's a flamingo. That's nothing like a rusty hinge, is it? One's a flamingo, one's a rusty hinge. Nope. Oh, there it is, right on top. So again, you would wait until it's dry, but oh, excuse me, I'm sneezing now, I'm coughing. There we go. Right. Again, you would wait until it's dry. Well, you don't have to, but it just makes it a little bit easier. Because now we're going to grab... Oops, heated up my inks, and I should have really moved them better out of the way. Let's have our rusty hinge all over my desk. Ooh, a piece of acetate there, that's why it's become funny. I'm just going to add... Oops, I might need to get moved to brush out actually. Trying not to paint over the lines. Yep, so I'm kind of dabbing more than... It's a proper painting one tonight, isn't it? Sorry. Watching paint dry. Oh, sorry. Just keep adding a little bits of honeycomb. I'm not being too fussed about getting within the lines. Ooh, see, that bit's definitely not dry. It's got a weird like not error, defect down it. I don't know if you can quite see, but nothing's really sticking to it on that bit. Oh, thank you, Noala. Hopefully it's starting to stand out a bit more now, isn't it? There we go. Nearly there. do that little honeycomb, hexagon doodles I think he's called. Just so much fun. Made a right mess of my desk, haven't I? Oops. There we go. Oops, I've got a bit of fluff. I'll never do it. Really see how intense that colour is. But there's always a way to make, you know, you don't have to have inks and oxides and that. There's always different ways to get the same effects. So this one, you just grab some water-based felt tip pens and do like we do, you know, like on the poly plates. Just use that. I nearly put that on top of my water. Ooh, silly girl. Yep, so there's always ways to cheat and use something slightly different. I know we've not all got everything. I haven't got everything because there's too much out there. Right, I'm nearly there now. Got one left to do. Whew. Didn't need all that ink, did I? Right, I'm going to move that to one side. Clean up my desk and move that piece of acetate at the same time. That's where all my ink went. Random. Love it when you find a random piece of acetate. To be fair, I normally find random pieces when I'm packing the stamps and things and I've been cutting the edges off. And I'll go to move somewhere and I've just got these little bits of the carrier sheets on me. It's really, really funny. Right. Starting to work, isn't it? No, I won't start faffing with it just yet because I know we're not quite dry. So I'm doing really gentle light touches on this because like I keep saying, we are not dry. We are far from dry. I love the texture you get when you just run. Yeah, when you pencil over a canvas board. You can get away with using like the sharper side of your pencil as well. Just really move it instead of trying to imprint the honeycomb on my handies. There we go. I'm just going to turn it round again. So I want to do this edge here. Just be careful when you're turning stuff around then. If you noticed, it took me a bit to go, oh, which side do I need to colour in? When you're turning your projects like I do quite a bit, you just need to make sure you keep an eye on which side you've added your shading to or your highlights to, and then you can just continue on that side. Otherwise you come back to it and go, oh, I've definitely, it's one of those things that you don't notice at the time, but then afterwards when you're looking at it you go, oh, hang on a minute, why is that all over the shop? There we go. So, I'm going to do it that way. our Stella's going to come in just like that. These are going to have glossy accents on it, absolutely, because then that will give us a lot more texture in the background. I'm going to grab some of these beautiful Mum Specials. I bet you've been wondering where this box of bits have been, haven't you? They're all just little, like 10cm pieces, but they're fab. Well, they're not 10cm now because I'm ripping them up into bits, aren't I? Yeah. Good. See, they've got like grass and all sorts in them. Wonderful. Ow, ow. Doesn't do any good for my thumbs though. When you get a tough bit of grass, it's hard to rip. You could. I think I'm going to have to do it. I am. If you're struggling with handmade papers and stuff to rip them, you just need. Oh, you need to clean your paintbrush on. You just need to take some clean water. I know mine's not clean, and then it just moistens the fibres. So it makes it easier for you to. Tear. Yep. And also by doing that, it gives you a bit of a more control over where it tears, rather than just randomly going for it like I do. See? Oops. So that one is the one I've done with water, so I've got a bit more of a straighter edge. That one is the one I've just started ripping at. I do love handmade papers. Ooh. Picked up some stamps as well. Get these a bit gnarly, we might even. Yeah, it's kind of working, isn't it? I love how we've got that like really bright intense colour and then the lovely soft subtle background. I did say live in the moment to go down there. Don't think it kind of works, does it? Randomly picking up stamps off my desk. No, that's too big. Well, actually, that kind of works. One step at a time. That does kind of work at the moment. Wishing you a magical day. No. No, 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 no. Might go back to my original one. Live in the moment. Yeah, I'll stick with that one. Yep. Put that back up there. All that and I ended up back where I began. No, 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 we're not using that one. No, just spotted the one I want to use. Right, that's going back over there. I didn't put it back on its carrier sheet properly. But how's about live simply? I didn't realise I had this stamp set next to me. It's like, you know, those little like happy accidents where you find a stamp suddenly when you're looking for something else. Oh, thank you, Zena. It is starting to come along now, isn't it? It's starting to fit. I can kind of see where I'm going. I've got to admit that dog's dinner bit. We went through that dog's dinner phase, didn't we? But I think it has worked. She goes quiet while she's thinking. You can tell I'm up to something else. No, I didn't know whether I wanted to put some colour behind this. I don't. I want to leave it as it is. So let's get our black on there. Come on. Didn't look like it wanted to ink that one at all. It hasn't inked, that's why. a moment, that ink pad. Or maybe it was just me. Get a nice good press. Not sure if I want to colour Stella's centres in. There we go. Put that one back on the carrier sheet so it's in its set. And then I need my little guillotine, don't I? Not quite sure what I did with it before. Oh, there he is. Oh. I will organise my craft room again one day. Just got piles of all different things at the moment. I might need to make this a bit smaller, but it's a good starting place, isn't it? You can always cut away, you can't add to it. It's like when you're sewing, isn't it? Measure twice, cut once. How many times I've been caught out with that? Especially quilting. I always measure it and then cut my square the size I've measured, and I didn't want that at all. See, that's way too big, girl. What are you doing? I'm going to have to go super small on this one. I wanted to leave enough of a gap to do a bit of doodling around it, because I think that's what this needs next. That's going to go on there. What I do want though is a lovely dark piece of handmade paper. So oh, I've got grey. That could be an interesting one, couldn't it? Maybe not. I can't get it out. Actually looks a lot like felt. Ooh. That could look quite nice, couldn't it? Because it's just that little hint of a different colour. Bringing in a different colour even. Yeah. Or do we go with one of the dark browns? No, I think I prefer the grey. It's not black, is it? I know I normally go for black. I think I prefer that one. So, where are we up to? I'm going to take that off there. I need to do a bit of... This is going to be a nightmare to trim, but we will get there. That's going to go there. I need to do a little bit of doodling. So there's my black pen. I'm going to take our Stella off there for the moment. Yeah, I think the grey's nice too, Lynn. I think it kind of works. Do a little bit of doodling around the edge. And I'm just going to rough up these edges a little bit more. I've got a bad sewer again. I keep looking at, like a really cheap sewing machine so we can get some proper stitching. They used to make paper sewing machines, didn't they? But then they kept getting clogged up. So they kept breaking. It's one of them, yeah, who'd have thought? Right. There's that one. And I'm just... Actually, I'm going to leave that for a second to dry now. Didn't think that bit through, did I? Right, so... Where's my paintbrush gone? Unless it will tear. Will you tear? Will it echo thumps? Will it echo thumps? It's really sticky. Ooh, you know, like grey board? It's kind of that thick. Oh, there we go. Oh. Like a workout. I'm going to cheat this time. I'm going to add a bit extra water to it. Nearly. Right, now this is a tricky bit. Put that on there like so. Actually looks like a piece of cloth, doesn't it? Get me puddle of water. Oh dear. There's that one. Gonna go like that, and I'll that final bit just down there. It's all about just loosening the fibres and getting them. Ugh. There we go. Ages since I've used handmade papers. Right, so all done with that bit. And then I'm going to stick this bit down. I know, where's my glue gone? It was on my desk. Nobody move, there it is. I've got walking glue again. Let's see if we can turn it into volcano glue. So there we go. So we're just going to throw that on there. We're going to do our faux stitching a little bit neater than what we've just done it. I did say a little bit. Tell you what, this sewing machine doesn't do very equal stitches, does it? Right, so I've got that bit. I've got Stella. We just need to do a little bit more work on Stella, but that'll be good. These ones, I'm just going to do a quick bit of stitching again around the edge, because we've kind of got that vibe going on now, haven't we? Just realised you can't really see the handmade paper on my desk. There, there's that one. And then this one too. Right, that. I think they're all done. Let me go on the floor for my glossy accent. Everything's been on the floor tonight, hasn't it? You know what, if I'm going to do this I might as well do it properly. Where's my wide one? Really quickly. Oh, it's a little bit too wet. I don't think it's going to quite show up enough. All it's doing is picking up the rusty hinge. Don't think that's making much of a difference on there. No, it's not. Should be alright. Could have done with like a Posca pen, like a paint pen for that. Right, let's start putting this together, shall we? So as we go, we're just gonna kind of floof. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna gloss the accents. I just rooted round on the floor for you, and then I forget we want to use them. Pop my pin in my glossy accents. Oh, there we go. There we go. And again, this is just one of those things. I love this hexagon, and I think it looks even better with a little bit of shading, and if you glossy accent it. If I'd have thought about it, I should have taken note of how far down we needed to go. But that's alright, because it acts like a glue, doesn't it, if I go over it. Oh, I was getting that the other night, Lynn. I haven't noticed it tonight. And my eyes aren't quite as on the screen as normal tonight. Right, so I'm going to stop there because I think I've probably come down far enough on that one. Could also just be the internet going, hey, you've been on for a long time tonight, missus. I didn't intend this to be a long one, so I do apologise. Well, I've had fun. I've done some painting. I've done some messing. I've got to rip paper up. I'm loving this effect as well. It's ages since I've done that. Got to play with a canvas board. Nearly there. Only a few more hexagony bits. This is where my thumb starts to cramp up. Oh no, my glossy accents has bunged up. Rude. Oh no. Foiled by the glossy accents. Oh, hang on, he's coming back. He's coming back. My own fault. I started touching the canvas board as I was squeezing. Right. Let's see, shall we? Where did Stella want to go? Oh, I missed one right there. I think. Apart from the one that. How did I miss that? That'd be one of them that you'd be sat there and a couple of days later going, how did I miss it? At this rate we might be missing it. Oh dear. Whoopsie. I had a little little incident with my glossy accents. So you can see it's got the whole of the nozzle must have been blocked. Got a right lumpy bit coming out. Yes, sounds low, no, and then I ended up gunking it everywhere. There we go, right. I'm going to stop playing with glossy accents before I do any more damage today. Though I might want to do Stella's nose. We'll see. Right, so we wanted... I'm going to move that up a little bit because the moment I start putting things on there, it's going to start getting stuck down, and glossy accents will stick it pretty quick. Right, that's a creative way of moving spaces, wasn't it? I'm going to put that one there, that's going to go like that. I think that'll work. Maybe that just needs nudging around a little bit, like that, maybe. I dunked it in. That's going to go a bit. Right. Yep. Just trying to position this one. Just do it as a jaunty corner. Right, something like that. Let me turn that over because it did get dunked in the glossy accents. I stuck my thumb together as well. Oops. Come on, Mr. Glue, you were working a minute ago. I'm not going to squeeze it too hard, I might end up splodging it everywhere like I did a minute ago. Have it hanging over a little bit, just like that. Same with that one. Actually, I'm going to do that way, you know, so I've got a little bit of interest on that corner, haven't I? Kind of like that. Let's get some on the back of Stella. I'm using Cosmic Shimmer, so there isn't much wriggle room. Once it goes down, it's pretty much where it's going to go. I've got half set glossy accents. So let's get that in there like so. Ooh. Just be careful, can you see here? Because it's starting to set. When I've come to press it down, it's all starting to splodge a little bit. So just, ooh, see, I did it there as well. Just be gentle. That's the word I'm missing. When you are doing that. And I never roughed up this one's edges. How rude. Just whilst I can. Just going to keep roughing up these little ones. Just like that. There we go, that's a bit better. It would have been easier if I'd have done this before I decided to put it onto me. There. Right, and then this is somehow, hey, it kind of fits. Might even do a bit lower. A bit like that. Oh, Bear's arm, it is, thank you, Lynn, for asking. He's doing alright. He's obviously not a happy bear about it. But he's getting there. Be happy if we can get the big heavy cast off and a lighter one, so we'll see if that happens on Friday. But yeah, to be fair, he's being a trooper. He is being an absolutely brave little bear. Yeah, he's managed to break his elbow. You know, most kids go for the arm. No, not Bear. He decided to do it on his elbow. So hopefully he will be on the mend pretty quick. We're hoping 4 to 6 weeks. Which when you're 7 and all you want to do is do your tennis and your football and your swimming, that's a long time. Yeah, he'll be there. He'll get there. He will. He started to master to do things by himself today, which is an achievement. Yesterday he was wanting a bell for everything, so today he has started to do things. But the cast is just way too heavy for him, so we'll see if we can get him in a lighter weight cast on Friday. Then he should be a lot happier little bear. I'm half tempted. No, I'm not. I was going to say I'm half tempted to glossy accent them flower heads, but I'm not. I think it looks on there. It is a really long time, isn't it, Noali? It's not fun for a little bear to be out of action for that long, especially when football season's just started again. Oh, he fell. He was jumping off something in PE at school and fell and went straight onto his elbow. So the full bear's weight behind him onto his elbow. Yeah, very happy little bear. There we go. I actually quite like that. So we've got some pattern paper. We've put our Stella on the top. We used our brushes in the background. You could use any paint to go round on that one. Oh, that sounds painful, Lynn. He wasn't that adventurous. He literally jumped off quite a high platform and landed on his elbow. He'll be fine. He was itching to come in tonight, but I said no. I can't have a cast next to me whilst I'm crafting. And I've been with him all day. Not that I don't love him, but you know, I needed a bit of crafting time. So yeah, we stamped our Stella. We did a bit of brush shows behind it. I love those little splatters coming out of it. Again, you could have done this with any paints. I just used my brush show. Canvas, really simple. We just put our oxides on there. We stamped our cracked stamp on there, and then we just brushed it to get this more diffused effect. Hexagon doodles, coloured them in, a little bit of shading, and then we've just stamped our saying over the top. But I think, since I wasn't quite sure what we were going to do, we got there in the end. Oh, thank you all. Oh yeah, I know, definitely a lighter cast would be wonderful. I would really like a lighter cast. I've lost my mouse now, so where have I gone here? I am. Oh, thanks, Zena. So that's it from me. We will be back on Monday with another monthly make. We have lots and lots of monthly makes being added to YouTube, to our website, all the inspiration from previous months, so keep watching out for that. Oh, thank you. Thank you all. I'll keep you updated on Bear's arm. He is doing better. He's doing much better today. He's cracked a smile occasionally. And like I say, he is trying to do things for himself. So he is. He's being a big brave bear. We've still got him in bandages. Little lady's idea. So yeah, we are back on Monday with more monthly make fun. If you haven't already, check out the giveaway we've got going. I think it goes till the 28th. I know Claire's not on tonight, so I think it's the 28th, but don't quote me on that one. So make sure you get entered for that. If any problems, just flag it up and we will pop you in manually into the draw. Yeah, I think that's everything. Keep your eyes peeled. There is lots and lots of our old Facebook lives going onto YouTube as well. Oh, thank you all. Thank you, Sean. He'll get better soon. It'll fix. And he's only little, so it should fix quicker. That's what I'm hoping anyway. When they say 4 to 6 weeks, I'm aiming for the 4 weeks. Up his calcium and all that. Oh, thank you all again. Monday, 7 o'clock, usual monthly make. Yeah, so hopefully I will see you then. As always, thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again very soon.